Hello and welcome to my live stream today. I'm flying from Bloke Island to Nantucket in a Cessna 172 Skyhawk. The plane is almost ready for the flight. I just need to make a pre-flight and then we can departure west for Nantucket. And after a roughly 40-minute flight we will land, file a new flight plan back to Bloke Island and turn back. Now it's time for pre-flight. Just put the yoke off and start the pre-flight. Pivot tube cover remove, we can do that later outside. Pilot's operating handbook, it's in the right door. Actually in front of the door. Weight and balance check. I've done my balance calculations and our weight is currently at 2,200 pounds. Pilot and passenger, 32 gallons of fuel, which should give us just enough to go to Nantucket, go back and have some fuel left for alternate airport in case of bad weather. Parking brake set, it is set. Control wheel lock remove, I've done that a moment ago. Ignition switch off. Just checking, it's off. Avionics master switch off, it's off. Battery master switch on. Pivot heat on. Let's open flaps. Now, avionics master switch on. Static pressure alt sort valve, it's pushed full in. Annunciator panel. Test. Everything is blinking. Cam lights are extinguished and now we have exactly those which should stay on. Fuel selector both. Fuel shutoff valve on. Push in. Okay, flaps extend. I did that a moment earlier. Pivot heat off. Avionics master switch off. And battery master switch off. Elevator trim set for takeoff. And it is set. Let's remove the cover. Check if the pivot tube is hot. Yes. Locking baggage door. First the tie down. Then I will check if the controls are free. Elevator. Rudder. Hinges look quite okay. Everything correct. And iron tab secured. Well, it was the trim tab, not the tab. Tab. Holds firmly. Ailerons. Everything looks okay here. No water in fuel. 16 gallons, a little bit more than 16 gallons. Right wing. If I remember correctly, it was exactly the amount I ordered. Nose, oil. 7 quarts. Again, no water in fuel. The cable for engine heater, so the engine will be hot, warm after startup. Static source and the left wing. Left tank a little less than 16 gallons, it's okay. No water in fuel in the left wing. Wheel chocks removed. Our gear looks fine, it's a little bit under the... a little bit of this tire is hidden under the texture, but that's okay. Tie down. All warning opening and fuel vent. Leading edge looks okay, lights both look okay. And the left wing flap, fine. Pre-flight complete. Before starting engine, pre-flight inspection complete, doors locked. Close the window. Seats and belts adjusted, brakes set, circuit breakers. All circuit breakers are in. Electrical equipment off. Avionics master switch off. Fuel selector both. Fuel shut off. Pushed in. Starting engine. Throttle open 1/4 of inch. Mixture idle cutoff. Propeller area clear. Master. Auxiliary fuel pump. Mixture full reach. Cut off. And fuel pump is off. Flashing beacon on. Clear prop. Engine has started. Mixture lean for ground ops. Flaps up. Engine indications. Oil pressure in green. Temperature in green. Vacuum a little lower, but that's normal for low RPM. Ammeter shows charging. Everything's fine here. Navigation lights as required. I think we won't use navigation lights in this weather. Necessary. Avionics master on. Radios on. Transponder on. And showing VFR 1200. Heading indicator set. It should be showing 8 degrees. Heading indicator set. Altimeter. It should be set to 3008. Same goes here. Radio set to 122.8 Vatsim Unicom frequency. Current wind is 230 at 14 knots, so we will use runway 28 for takeoff and taxi via taxiway Alpha. Go right from our position and then backtrack to runway threshold. Let's keep the engine sound for now. Parking brake off. I will do my run-up before taxiing onto the runway, somewhere at the end of taxiway Alpha. Parking brake set. Before takeoff, parking brake set. Passenger seats, most upright position. Okay. Seats and belts, check secure. They are. Cockpit doors closed and locked. Checked. Flight controls, free and correct. Rudder. Elevator. Ailerons. Altimeter checked. heading indicator showing the same as our compass, fuel quantity showing a little more than 15 gallons, and that's correct. 15 gallons in each tank, in each wing. Mixture rich. Fuel selector recheck both. Throttle 1800. Magneto check. Left. Slight drop. Right. The same. And we are within limits. The limits are 150 RPM on each magneto, and no different than 50 between the right and left magneto. Vacuum gauge 4.5 in green. Engine instruments, everything is okay. Annunciator panel tested. Throttle check idle. Throttle friction lock is adjusted. Strobe lights. On radios and avionics set. Nav and GPS switch. It's on nav. Oh, we don't have a GPS here. Trim set. Wing flaps set for takeoff. This will be no flap takeoff. Windows closed. Brakes release. Okay, transponder to altitude, landing lights. Block Island traffic, Cessna 6 X-ray, taxi backtrack, runway 28 for departure, runway 28, Block Island. I'm on VATSIM, but there is no ATC at this moment. And there is no traffic in vicinity, so I will just make the calls that I should be making for you to listen to them, but I won't make them on VATSIM Unicam. We have slight left crosswind, so left aileron on takeoff. Last checks, full power. I just wanted to say, I just thought about saying that we have positive rate, so gear up, but that's not this plane. Okay, I will separate myself from the airport, fly around 2 miles straight out, and then turn back, reach some altitude, reached my altitude of 2,500 feet, cross the local VOR, and head for Nantucket. One 17.8. This is the frequency of Sandy Point VOR. And we need a track of 0.99 degrees. And that signal will guide us to Nantucket. Okay, I will limit my power for because we have reached, well, almost reached our altitude. Heading for the airport, I know that the VOR is right in the middle of airport.
But to mature and grow up, we have to talk about crucifixion. We have to talk about sharing his crucifixion, not just sharing his blessing. We want to look at a couple of instances in the Bible where people were really being blessed and had such tremendous opportunities, and they just went totally out.
We can arm this altitude. Set heading to roughly 99 degrees. We will intercept this signal 2 or 3 miles a little bit further from the VOR. And you can see Bloke Island. Thus. This is one of the latest sceneries of Orbex. I think it was developed by iBlue Yonder and then moved to Orbex. And I quite like it. I like the autogen, these trees all around the island, small town, currently between us and the airport, and this bay or harbor that you can see right from the airport, north from the airport, with lots of boats and yachts and cruisers. Okay, to the right, our VOR indicator is set. now we are on the right track for Nantucket. Our airspeed indicator shows 120 indicated airspeed, and DME shows our ground speed at 142. So that's a good speed for Nantucket. If you want to see our route, it looks like this. We just left Bloke Island, and we are flying eastwards to Nantucket. There's also a VOR in Nantucket, and I think we will just we will tune it now. Maybe the distance is 72 miles. So we should be able to tune and receive the other navigate, and then we'll just head for it. Nantucket is at the frequency is 116.2. Okay, we are receiving it. It should be 100 decrease and nav mode. Leaning for peak. And peak GT should give us best economy. And also it should give us lower engine temperatures. Actually, we are running out of scale of PT. Okay. I think we are somewhere around peak. And cruising 120 knots. Gated and true airspeed. The small island we just passed is called No Man's Land, and to the north from our flight path is Martha's Vineyard. I wish there was a nice airport for Martha's Vineyard. It would make this whole area here much nicer to fly. Possible routes and more airports. Diversity. Nantucket is visible in front of us. What's the weather there? The wind is 200 at 14 knots. And we have 3 runways in Nantucket. 24, 6, 30, 12, 33 and 15. With this wind, with 200 at 14 knots, I think I will choose runway 24. A nice long runway, 6,303 feet. It's also the widest runway in Nantucket, it's 150 feet wide. So cruising like we are, I should be in perfect position for left downwind runway 24 just as I approach the island. The plan is to fly just as we planned, somewhere up to the outskirts of Nantucket, then turning towards the airfield, entering downwind via 45 entry, standard entry for traffic pattern, and doing right traffic pattern for runway 24, landing here and moving to the general aviation apron through one of these taxiways. Approaching Nantucket, if the ATC was online during this flight, I'm flying on VATSIM, but unfortunately there's no one providing the ATC service. So if the ATC was online somewhere around here, I should be asking for, I should be contacting him before flying inside the control zone around Nantucket. Now it's not necessary. Before landing Before landing checklist. Seat bags, most upright position. Seats and seat belts secured and locked. Fuel selector both. Mixture reach. Landing lights on. Look, you can even notice how strong the wind is. We are flying partly sideways. I'm a bit too high. 1360 leftwards, and then I'll be ready to join downwind for runway 24. All flaps. Okay, after landing checks. Facts. Flaps up. Fuel pump off. I don't use fuel pump in 172 for takeoffs and landings. Cowl flaps closed. No cowl flaps here. Transponder standby. And lights off. Landing lights, strobe lights. Okay, we can taxi. I will take a screenshot or two. The upcoming review of Nantucket. Okay, where should we go? The chart says that general aviation should park somewhere here, but the whole parking is available for us. And we're on taxiway Charlie. Okay, small planes are parked to the left. Okay, parked, parking brake. Electrical equipment off. Avionics off. Mixture idle cutoff. Waiting for the engine to quit. Ignition off. Fuel selector left or right. Fuel cutoff off. Controls lock. Wheel chocks, tie downs, engine heater and pitot cover. Thanks for flying with me to Nantucket. If you like this flight, subscribe. I'd like to reach more people than I'm reaching at this very moment. And if you are not scared by hearing a YouTuber speaking Polish, join me on KBID-Aviation channel for my around the world flight. Currently it was the fifth leg of my flight. There will be others. I will proceed through Iceland on the 6th flight and then to Greenland. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for watching and have a nice night.